a merry-go-round, and you can't find the fighter, but I see it in you, so we're gonna walk it out and move mountains. We're gonna walk it out and move mountains. And I'll rise up, I'll rise like the day. I'll rise up, I'll rise unafraid. I'll rise up, and I'll do it 1,000 times again. I'll rise up, high like the waves. I'll rise up, in spite of the ache. I'll rise up, and I do it 1,000 times again. For you, for you, for you, for you. When the silence isn't quiet and it feels like it's getting hard to breathe, and I know you feel like dying, but I promise we'll take the world to its feet and move mountains. Bring the world to its feet and move mountains. And I'll rise up, I'll rise like the day. I'll rise up, I'll rise unafraid. I'll rise up, and I'll do it 1,000 times again. For you, for you, for you, for you. All we need is hope, and for that we have each other, and for that we have each other. And we will rise, we will rise, we will rise. Oh, we'll rise. And I'll rise up, rise like the day. I'll rise up in spite of the ache, and I'll do it 1,000 times again. And we'll rise up, we'll high like the waves. We'll rise up in spite of the ache. We'll rise up, and we'll do it 1,000 times again. For you, for you, for you, for you. Well, I won't back down. No, I won't back down. You can stand me up at the gates of hell, but I won't back down. No, I'll stand my ground, won't be turned around, and I'll keep this world from dragging me down, and I'll stand my ground. No, I won't back down. Hey, baby, there ain't no easy way out. Hey, I will stand my ground, and I won't back down. Well,
Good evening. I am Norm Marshall, President of Headwaters Construction and proud Chair of Habitat for Humanity of Greater Sacramento Board of Directors. We welcome you and thank you for joining us for the Habitat for Humanity of Greater Sacramento 27th Hammy Awards. On behalf of our board listed on the screen, we want to thank all of you watching for this incredible effort helping Habitat build through 2020. 2020 was a hard year. So tonight is a celebration of you, Habitat's partners, volunteers, donors, and supporters who helped Habitat keep building in 2020. The evening, we will take a look back at all we were able to accomplish this past year with your support, despite unprecedented challenges. We'll be handing out some special awards for partners who went above and beyond the awards. The awards are given out in various categories, including restore, construction, homeowner services, and fund development, culminating in the presentation of our leadership awards and the most prestigious award of the evening, the Cornerstone, that will go to a very special partner who made a truly historic contribution this year. When we conclude tonight's Hammy Awards, I hope you feel as inspired and proud as I am to be part of this organization. And with that, let's take a look back at what we accomplished together in 2020 through this special message from the entire Habitat staff. Thank you.
2020 has been a year full of challenges for many of us, and at Habitat for Humanity of Greater Sacramento, we've certainly seen plenty.
When COVID and the shelter-in-place orders hit back in March, we were forced to close our restore, the sales from which support our operating expenses, which in turn meant we had to furlough 90% of our staff and close our construction sites.
But guess what? Because of you, we built back, and we kept building.
We built 5 new homes for low-income families.
Low-income families who now have safe, decent, and affordable housing that they own and where they can build equity for themselves and their children.
And we have another 14 new homes under construction.
And we completed 29 home repairs for low-income families, seniors, and veterans.
Including home repairs for a World War II veteran and his wife so they can remain in their home and age in place with dignity.
And we've got over a dozen more home repairs planned over the next 3 months.
We did a Home Together campaign and took our signature events like the Women Build and the Gala virtual, and you, our community, showed up.
Showed up big time. This year, 2,096 donors gave 5,777 gifts.
We celebrated 35 years of building hope and homes in our region, and that legacy will continue because of you and your steadfast support.
We broke ground on our second largest development in history, a project that will house over 60 low-income individuals, including 40 children.
Our electrical crew ran miles of wire.
And started a large-scale community project with the Fruit Ridge Community Collaborative, which will impact over 2,000 individuals and the 22 nonprofit organizations which operate there.
And while Rock the Block may have looked a little bit differently this year, we did it.
Our homeowner partners helped put in over 2,800 hours of sweat equity, helping to build their homes and homes of other Habitat families.
And though due to COVID-19, we may not have been able to host as many volunteers this year, hundreds and hundreds of volunteers still put in over 12,000 volunteer hours on our job site, in the Restore, and on various committees.
Speaking of the Restore, despite unprecedented challenges this year and having been closed for 2 months due to COVID-19, because of your support, we were able to bring in over $1 million in sales.
And divert over 1 million pounds of reusable materials from the landfill.
Because of you. You,
and President Jimmy Carter.
And because of you,
we kept building.
We were able to keep building.
And through build, repair, and community projects in 2020, we have impacted over 3,500 individuals,
including dozens of children that now have a safe, decent place to live, grow, and thrive.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for helping us keep building.
and reminding us in times even when we felt alone.
That you were standing beside us, ready to build.
Thank you for sticking with us as times have gotten tough, and for pivoting and changing with us so we could keep doing all of the things we do, and so we could keep building.
And thank you for sticking with us now and helping us continue to build forward no matter what.
Because the work at Habitat is not done by one person or a small group of people.
It's done by all of us.
All of us.
All of us!
A community.
Working together.
Thank you.
Thank you!
Thank you.
Thank you!
Thank you for being a part of our Habitat family.
We've got big plans for 2021, and the need for what Habitat does will be greater than ever.
We hope we can count on you to build with us again.
Because of you, we will keep building.
Thank you for helping us keep building.
Yes, thank you. Good evening, everybody. My name's Leah Miller. I'm the president and CEO of Habitat for Humanity of Greater Sacramento. And it is my absolute pleasure to thank each and every one of you for joining us for our first ever virtual Hammy Awards dinner. I gotta tell you right out of the gate, tonight's event's not a fundraiser. It's a free feel-good event with no sponsors, so you're going to find it's not overly hyper-produced. And to give you a little bit of background, if this is your first ever Hammy Awards dinner, it's an event that actually started 27 years ago as a way for our small team at Habitat to say thank you to the many people that make the work of Habitat possible. You know, way back in the early days when this first started out, our board of directors used to make huge vats of spaghetti that would then be served to all of those in attendance, our volunteers and our donors, as a way to humbly and earnestly say thank you to all of those inside our Habitat family that made the impact of Habitat possible over the past year. Now, through the years, the Hammy Awards has grown exponentially, and we've ended up outsourcing all of the spaghetti making, but that same humble spirit of the Hammy Awards remains today, as an earnest opportunity for our small team to come together with each of you and say thank you to our Habitat family that makes the work of Habitat possible. So tonight, as you settle in, consider tonight a humble gathering of family around the table. Habitat for Humanity is a locally supported nonprofit that provides affordable home ownership opportunities to low-income, hard-working families who put in over 500 hours of sweat equity building their Habitat homes before purchasing them with a zero-interest equivalent mortgage. Habitat also helps preserve affordable housing in our community through our home repairs program for low-income homeowners, primarily seniors and veterans. What we do is a hand up, not a handout. Habitat's program's not a giveaway. It provides not only stable shelter, but equity building opportunities that uplift the entire community. As a small team, the work that we do is simply not possible without each and every one of you, the hundreds of volunteers and donors who stand side by side with us to help make safe, decent, affordable shelter a possibility for so many in our region. It's no secret that 2020 didn't quite turn out the way any of us had imagined. Am I right? I think back to when we gathered this past January in 2020, all 400 plus of us having spaghetti dinner at last year's Hammy Awards dinner and celebrating a year when we had served more people in 2019 than any other year in our organization's history combined. You know, on the heels of that growth and impact, as you can imagine, we had some pretty big plans for 2020. And in March, when COVID hit, we went from having those big plans to continue to build bigger to suddenly wondering, amidst all the uncertainty of the unprecedented circumstances, if we'd be able to keep our doors open and be able to serve when the pandemic subsided. But one thing was certain, the work we do at Habitat would be needed now more than ever. We had to temporarily furlough 90% of our staff in March and shut all of our active construction sites. It was indeed a scary and difficult time. Of course, as scary and difficult as it was for us as staff, nothing could compare to how it felt for the Habitat partner families whose future homes were on those paused build sites. For them, it felt as though their dreams were suddenly put on ice and into question. But you helped us keep building, and you helped keep those dreams in motion for those families and so many more. All told, in 2020, we completed 5 new home builds, more than 40 home repairs, numerous community projects, and right now, I'm excited to tell you that we have 14 new homes and over a dozen more home repairs currently in progress. In total, we impacted more than 3,500 underserved individuals in our region through build, repair, and community projects. And just this month, we broke ground on our second largest development in our history, a 13-home community at Mandel Estates that will house over 60 low-income individuals, including 40 children. And also exciting, earlier this month, we received approval of the tentative parcel map for a one-of-a-kind collaboration of an affordable housing development that we're embarking on in partnership with Mutual Housing, which will provide homes for more than 500 people. I'm really looking forward to sharing more with you about this exciting partnership and development later in the year. You know, when I think about where we were in March 2020 and the tremendous momentum that we closed out the year with, it's pretty miraculous, and it couldn't have been possible without you. The work that Habitat does is more important now than ever, and we're grateful to have you, our Habitat partner family, by our side as we work to combat an affordable housing crisis that's been further exacerbated by this pandemic. Tonight, we might not be able to gather over a humble spaghetti dinner to share hugs, but our staff is grateful beyond measure for the opportunity to host each of you here with us virtually tonight and express our gratitude to you, our truly, truly amazing Habitat family, and the community who stepped up this year to help us keep building and make lasting changes for families, seniors, veterans, and children in our community who are in critical need of affordable housing in our region. So let's get things started. Please feel free to comment and say hi to a friend in the chat so that we all know that you're here. Tonight, we celebrate 2020, all that we accomplished, and you, the people who helped us keep building. Your support this year, whether volunteering, donating, advocating for more resources for affordable housing, or shopping our restore, it mattered a lot. One thing that I want to be sure to note, usually at the Hammy Awards, along with all of the awards that we give out, we also give out hundreds of certificates of appreciation. This year, given the virtual nature of the event and an effort to save trees and resources, as well as be as authentic as possible about the impact that your support has made, we went in a little bit of a different direction. On my screen is a photo of a shear board that we built into our first home of 2021 at that development, Mandel Estates, which I mentioned earlier, that will house over 60 low-income individuals, including 40 children. On this shear board, though not an exhaustive list, are many names. Names of over 400 individuals and organizations who went above and beyond in helping Habitat keep building in 2020. Know that your legacy of support will live forever in the bones of this Habitat home. And when it's safe to invite our community to build with us again, I hope that each of you will come out to swing a hammer on this project, which you have helped make possible. Each of you, the community of people that support, volunteer, and donate to Habitat who are watching tonight, along with our Habitat partner families, are what inspire me and my staff to come to work each and every day. Together, we believe in creating a community where everyone has a safe, decent, and affordable place to call home. And it's because of our collective, our efforts, that we're able to do something about it. Coming up next, we asked each of you, why do you help Habitat keep building? And here's what so many had to say.
We helped Habitat keep building because we at US Bank believe that children and families will be better positioned for success and thrive if they're in a home that is safe and permanent.
Because we support and give back to our community by helping families and building relationships.
Because the pandemic has ravaged the core operations of so many community organizations. It's also exacerbated and highlighted the lack of adequate housing for so many.
Because affordable housing is a keystone to a healthy community.
Because we believe every family deserves a home.
Because of the people and so much fun.
Because we believe that it's important to take care of the communities where we live, work, and play.
We helped Habitat
keep building because
everyone needs
a safe place to live.
Because we care about the community we serve.
Because as a general contractor, we have the skill set and means to help provide families in our community with a safe and affordable place to live.
Because providing safe and affordable housing for local families and veterans is critical and must continue no matter what the obstacles are.
For many of the things that the Habitat does for veterans.
Because the homes we build provide a strong foundation for our families' futures.
It is very rewarding for me
to see the families work so hard towards home ownership, and at the end of all of their hard work, achieving that home ownership through our great organization.
Because it gives families a home.
It gives kids a safe place to grow. And it provides families with a secure place to build their communities.
Because I believe now more than ever, everyone deserves the opportunity to live in a home that they love.
We helped Habitat keep building because
it's been a tough year for everyone.
And there's a higher need for safer houses.
We know how important a safe and sustainable home is during these troubling times. But we'll keep on building homes because our community is counting on us to make a positive change.
Because, you know, I think everybody needs to have a home, especially in these times.
Because we know Habitat does the best for our community.
Because I love to see the joy of homeowners when they walk into their own home built with their sweat.
Because having a sense of security and belonging is a necessity to all. Everyone deserves a roof or foundation over their head, no matter what your background or upbringing was.
Because it gives me a feeling of fulfillment knowing I've done my small part to help a family find a safe, clean home to prosper.
For building the Sacramento community and giving our 6 service missionaries the opportunity to learn life skills and to help build Sacramento into a better community for families.
Because as a member of the Homeowner Selection Committee, every time I go out to visit a prospective family, I get a little teary.
As I love the people that we can work alongside within our community.
Because I believe that to improve society, to improve our community, we must go beyond feathering our own nest.
Because hardworking families deserve a safe place to live during this global pandemic.
Because we feel it's important for everyone to have a place to call home.
Because I want my time and resources to have the most compounded impact in helping families.
Because it's an opportunity for families to own their own homes for the first time.
Because in these difficult times, it's even more important to provide affordable, well-built homes for families.
Because I believe everyone should have a home that is affordable, decent, and helps keep them safe.
Because now more than ever, we all need to be part of the solution, and that includes our LGBTQ community.
Because of the critical need for housing in our region.
Because I worry about the amount of housing, especially affordable housing in our region.
Because we want everyone in our community to have a safe place to call home.
Because I very much believe in their mission, especially that everyone deserves a safe place to live.
Because I believe it's a very rewarding and exciting way to give back to our community.
Because I wanted to make a positive impact in this otherwise very challenging year.
Because in a year full of chaos and uncertainty, our homes were redefined. They became our schools, our workplace, and our movie theaters. But most importantly, they became our safe haven and our refuge from it all.
We helped Habitat keep building because we want our community to keep growing.
Wow, our community is awesome. Hi, I'm Andrea Wethington, and I am the Restore Donations Procurement Manager. If you haven't had the opportunity to visit our Restore, we are a donation-based retail outlet where we sell new and gently used home furnishings and building supplies at 30 to 90% off of retail to the general public. We are open to all, and all of the sales from our Restore support the work of Habitat and building and repairing homes for those in need. All product at the Restore is donated, so some comes from community members with extra reusable materials from a renovation or great furniture that needs a second home. And other donations come from our corporate partners who are looking to give us their overstocks, dented product, or floor models in lieu of sending it to the landfill. This past year, the Restore raised nearly $1 million to support Habitat for Humanity and diverted more than 1 million pounds of reusable material from the landfills. That incredible feat is all thanks to you, our donors and our shoppers who continue to find ways to support us and pivot with us as we developed new safety protocols and shopping and donating procedures. We have a few awards to present tonight, so our Restore manager, Greg, is going to help me do that.
Thank you so much to everyone who helped our Restore and Habitat this year keep doing what we do. Tonight I have the honor of presenting the first awards of the night. Our first Hammies of the night go to a few special long-term partners whose donations in 2020 made a huge difference. These Hammy Awards for Outstanding Community Partner are Apple, Lumens, HD Supply, and Costco Exposition. These 4 corporate partners made substantial donations of product for us to resell at the Restore, helped bring in literally hundreds of thousands of dollars. Apple, thank you so much for donating construction workbenches, office furniture, and much needed boom lift. That's nearly $100,000 value for us. Lumens, longtime partner Lumens, who continue to donate unique lighting pieces to the Restore regularly throughout this entire year, bringing thousands in revenue. HD Supply, thank you for your weekly donations and appliances by the truckload. Recently, we really appreciate it. Your consistent donations of washers, dryers, and refrigerators help keep us going, even during times of very low donations, and brought in tens of thousands of dollars. Thank you. Lastly, Costco Exposition, with multiple truckloads of donations every week, nearly daily. Your support of donations like patio furniture, sofas, seasonal items like kayaks, camping gear were the lifeblood of the Restore inventory this year. Once again, thank you so much, and so many other Restore donors who helped Restore bring in sales to help Habitat keep building and repairing homes through this pandemic.
Yes, so many organizations for the Restore to be grateful for this year, including our volunteers. Our next Hammy goes to a special volunteer team from the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, California, Sacramento, Roseville missionary area. Due to COVID-related safety protocols, we have been unable to host general community volunteers in our Restore. This special group of gentlemen helped multiple days a week to keep our staff and the Restore doors open and help us keep operating. So thank you so much, Team LDS. For our last Restore Hammy, we want to recognize some new partners who have come on board this year to help the Restore continue to operate and to support Habitat. Outward Magazine, Intelligent Furniture Rentals, and Propagate Plants. Outward Magazine provided us with substantial advertising and donation events this year to increase our sales and also increase our exposure. Thanks so much to Outward. Propagate is a local plant store and event space that donated plants to us that were so popular on our social media sneak peeks that our shoppers flocked to the stores and cleared our shelves almost every week. Their donations resulted in significant sales and significant exposure for our organization. And lastly, we have Intelligent Furniture Rentals. Intelligent Furniture Rentals is well deserving of an outstanding community partner Hammy because they have donated hundreds of items worth of furniture and brought in tens of thousands of dollars in revenue in 2020 to help Habitat continue to build and repair homes for those in need. A big thank you again to our Restore donors and our shoppers and all of our supporters. We are grateful for you, and we are grateful for those of you who are watching. If you haven't already signed up for Restore Rewards and are not following the Restore on our social media, you can find us on Instagram at @SacRestore and also on Facebook at @SacRestore as we post our daily fresh finds from the store that builds homes. Okay, on to construction.
Hi, I'm Michael Gordon, Director of Construction here at Habitat for Humanity of Greater Sacramento. For the Construction Hammy Awards, the site supervisors wanted to start us off with a few words. Take it away, construction team.
Hey guys, Brian, site supervisor here. We want to tell you how much we've missed having all you guys out here at the job sites, from Women's Build to the faith groups to the corporate sponsors. We miss the early morning job site chatter and teaching people how to hold hammers that have never swung one before. We want to say thank you for helping us to continue to build. And we hope later on this year, when it's safe to do so, we can have you out here to continue to build.
Terry here. 90% of the work done on a Habitat construction site is done by volunteers and Habitat homeowners. In a typical year, we'll host over 2,000 volunteers. So when we reopened up our construction sites, and it wasn't safe to host our usual big crews of volunteers, we were really bummed. as I'm sure you were too. All of us site supervisors at Habitat love what we do. We love teaching and working with volunteers to build our homes. We look forward to the day that we can safely host groups again. Until then, please stay safe.
Hey everybody, Scott out of Mammoth Estates. When it comes to volunteers on a typical Habitat site, we have large groups, we have small groups, we have individual volunteers, family partners, and then we have a group of special volunteers that we call our crew leaders. And our crew leaders are just a bunch of great people that come out once, sometimes multiple times a week. I believe there's a few of them that may even put in more hours than Terry does on a week. So when COVID hit us, we really had to rely on our crew leaders, and they've just pulled through in a huge way.
Jim here, the apprentice site supervisor. You can't raise walls with just one site supervisor or keep multiple job sites running with the four of us. So I want to give a huge shout out to all the crew leaders in AmeriCorps who answered our calls and showed up with all their muscles to help move our projects forward and keep us on schedule. We know it wasn't easy, but thank you all very much.
Tonight, we'd like to say thank you to all of our volunteers and crew leaders and give a special recognition with Hammy Awards to two of our newest crew leaders who came on board just this year, Jim Curtis and Paul Tassone. Jim Curtis contributed more than 300 volunteer hours in 2020 on the Habitat construction sites. Fun fact, he also bid and won a day with the Habitat construction team at our gala. So I guess technically we'll be working for him soon. Thank you, Jim, for your service and helping us build forward. Second, Paul Tassone. Thank you for joining Habitat as a crew leader earlier this year, for volunteering multiple times per week and putting in more than 350 volunteer hours this year. I know Paul recently said he felt blessed to have the opportunity to work with Habitat and all the great people that are part of it. But I can truly say it's wonderful people like Paul, Jim, and all of our volunteers who make Habitat the special place to work that it is. For our next group of Outstanding Volunteer Awards, we'd like to recognize a few members of our Habitat Electrical Crew. This crew is an all-volunteer team led by volunteer and licensed electrician Cliff Boatjoy and Jim Campo. The electrical crew installs the wiring and electrical fixtures in every Habitat home and saves Habitat tens of thousands of dollars a year through their service. This team additionally this year took on a Herculean project of changing out old high energy using light bulbs with very efficient LED bulbs at the Fruit Ridge Community Collaborative in South Oak Park, a project that will impact over 2,000 individuals in an underserved community and the 22 nonprofits that operate at the FRCC. Tonight, we recognize electrical crew members Rick McLeod, John Alturi, and Gary Young with outstanding volunteer Hammies. Rick McLeod is the fearless leader of the electrical crew low voltage team. Rick put in hundreds of clocked and unclocked volunteer hours this year, helping to light up homes and projects. John Alturi, a long-term Habitat volunteer celebrating nearly 2 decades with the electrical crew, manages the electrical crew's inventory and logistics. Gary Young has also been a Habitat volunteer for more than a decade and is a core member of the Habitat electrical crew, also a crew leader. This year, Gary put in over 300 volunteer hours with Habitat on and off the job site, and also helped support Habitat with our Home Together campaign, where he shared his eagerness to donate so he could get back on the job site. On behalf of our entire staff, I cannot say enough about the incredible volunteer electrical crew at Habitat. To Cliff Popejoy and Jim Campo, who lead the crew, and all the members, thank you for your service and lighting up our Habitat world. For our final Construction Hammy Awards, we wanted to recognize a very special trio of volunteers, Jack Kerwin, Alan Buckpitt, and Mike Paveo. These three amazing guys have not only been crew leaders for many years, but have supported Habitat in a myriad of other ways, including grant writing that has brought in over $2.5 million, and in 2020, helping us obtain a new flatbed truck. We have a very small fleet of trucks at Habitat for the restore and construction. The majority of trucks donated. When we lost Uncle Buck last year, and with just one truck to run around collecting restore donations and another to haul job site supplies, we're pretty short on wheels. Mike, Ellen, and Jack helped us obtain this new truck and heavily subsidized the cost of it through personal donations to help us meet our minuscule budget. The truck that has been a game changer. In honor of these three amazing human beings, we named the new one Jam after their initials of Jack, Alan, and Mike. When it comes to Habitat and construction, we could not keep building without incredible volunteers and really great construction trade partners. This year has been many challenges, but we cannot thank our volunteers and trade partners enough for the many contributions this year. Though we didn't get to host as many volunteers as we usually do, I hope those who watching this have hard hats and gloves ready, because as soon as it is safe again, we're going to need you. We got big plans and big builds coming up down the pipeline.
Good evening and welcome to the Hammy Awards. My name is Shannon Stein and I'm Chief Operating Officer here at Habitat for Humanity of Greater Sacramento. It is my distinct pleasure to spend my days working with the professional men and women who run our restore, construction department, and homeowner services department. Our organization is multifaceted. We are a retail business. We are a new home builder and a home repair company. We provide financial education and mortgage lending. But most of all, what all of that surrounds and supports is our outreach and belief in supporting the members of our community and providing an opportunity for families and individuals to take a hand up and create future hope and stability for themselves and for their families. I would like to take this opportunity to introduce you to the families and individuals your generosity has supported over the last year. Enjoy.
I was born October the 10th, 1925. I rode that very first bus West Cal Parish had for black children back in 1940. We come home that afternoon in 41, and they said they just bombed Pearl Harbor. I'm really proud that I had that drive and urge to want to go in the military. I didn't have no idea what I was really getting into. You buy land and own it and try to build it up yourself. I mean, you put your energy into it, and not thinking you're gonna get old and you won't be able to keep it up and tend like you should. Everything has gotten to be so expensive now until if you don't have some kind of help, you can't make it.
I was born in a refugee camp in Thailand. I was 4 years old when we came to the United States, and we landed in Sacramento. We stayed in that one house with a 2-bedroom, 1 bathroom for as long as I could remember. There was a total of 9 of us in that 2-bedroom.
We lived in a home. I was a mom on welfare. Then we ended up going to one shelter. I would wake up with cockroaches on the pillow. I had to go to the welfare office and claim homelessness. At that point, I was freaking out. I didn't know what I was gonna do. I was gonna have each and every one of my daughters live with their grandparents, and I was gonna end up sleeping in the car. I felt like I was giving up. I was giving my daughters up. I was giving up hope.
We were actually living in a pretty small 1-bedroom apartment. It was really a high crime area, but at that particular moment, that's pretty much all I could afford.
My parents, they didn't have an education at all. So when they got here, it was really hard for them to go to school. They attempted to, but because there was just the duty of being a mother and a father to us. My mom attempted to go to school, but then she had to drop out because she had to take care of us. My dad attempted to go to school, but then he had to drop out because We needed the money, which really plays a huge part in their income level as well because of the jobs they're not able to get.
Now that I've lived a life and I found out a lot of time, tough times brings out the best in people. Habitat is coming in to help me get the roof put on my house. I am so grateful and proud.
Now that I look back on my Habitat hours, pretty much every day that I was out there was inspirational. Not only because I was working toward a goal for me and my family, but I was also helping other families realize their dream too.
I'm no longer on welfare. I won a scholarship to become a medical assistant, so now I'm working. We have a lot to look forward to now, a lot.
Some mothers don't get back up on their feet, but my mom did. I'm proud of her. It pushes me to be more successful learning from my mom.
The Asian American Pacific Islander group at our school, they decided to do just to host a API appreciation for all the graduates. I told my mom and my dad to walk with me on the stage for recognition, and I told them that in their whole lifetime, they'd never had a chance to go up on stage and finish their degree. So I told them that now that I'm done, it's like they're done too.
Habitat to me is really about people, and it's about love.
I'm so grateful.
It seems so little, a roof or windows, but Habitat, you guys are giving something I can't give. But I pray so hard my whole life that Lord, please make ends meet for my grandparents.
Habitat means a whole lot. They can only do so much, but they need support and help from the people. And I'm saying it from the bottom of my heart. Habitat is a gift from God.
Our first Homeowner Services Outstanding Community Partner Award goes to the AmeriCorps NCCC Pacific Region program. AmeriCorps NCCC is a phenomenal program that allows 18 to 26-year-olds the opportunity to spend a year in service to a variety of programs and organizations throughout the United States. We have been abundantly grateful for our relationship with AmeriCorps NCCC this year. COVID allowed us the opportunity to see our relationship with NCCC differently and to finally take the opportunity to invite these wonderful young adults out to our build sites in lieu of having our normal 4,000 plus volunteers helping us move forward. Had it not been for the commitment and for the hard work and the positive attitudes and the partnership that we've had with NCCC over this last year, we would not have been able to continue to repair, build, and revitalize communities in the way that we've been able to in 2020. We are humbled by the drive and the dedication we have seen through these young adults, and we are filled with hope for the future as they continue to lead and thrive through this role and in many others. We would not be where we are right now were it not for their generosity, their kindness, and their hard work. And we are grateful to be partnered with this phenomenal organization. Thank you, Team Red 2, Team Gold 3, and Team Purple 1. We could not have done this without you this year. Our next set of awards goes to a very special set of volunteers. In the 35 years that Habitat for Humanity has been in operation in the Sacramento area, there have been a lot of changes in leadership, a lot of changes in department heads, but one thing that has remained consistent is our homeowner selection committee. This amazingly dedicated group of volunteers is what I believe to be the protectors of the mission and the spirit of what we do, and that is serving our families. They are dedicated to the true mission of what we do and follow it to the T. They hold our homeowner services department accountable for making sure we are fair and equitable in our selection of families. They review applications, and they work tirelessly to make sure that we are providing opportunities for as many families as possible to experience the joy and the opportunities connected with homeownership. I would be remiss if I didn't say, from a personal perspective, I have learned so much from every single one of the individuals on our homeowner selection committee, some who have been with our organization for over 30 years. I would like to personally thank each and every one of you for how you have impacted, now I'm going to cry, my experience with Habitat and how you continue to impact the families we are so fortunate to serve. Dottie, Karen, Twan, Donna, John, Alan, Tara, Alice, Kathy, Mary, Rosemary, Hua, Jennifer, and Veronica. Thank you for your dedication to our organization, to our families, and to keeping Habitat focused on service. I am abundantly grateful for you.
Hi everyone, I'm Lane Himmelman, Development Director at Habitat. Thank you for the donations you made to help us keep building in 2020. Though Habitat may be an internationally recognized nonprofit, we're locally supported, which means the work that we do is made possible because of local individuals and organizations. I once heard a quote that said, "We don't have a housing crisis because there's not enough money. We have a housing crisis because there aren't enough people who care enough to do something about it." But you are the people who do care. And you've shown that you care, and you've put that care and that love into action to help Habitat make a difference in the lives of so many individuals this past year. I wish I could list out every single incredible individual and organization who helped Habitat keep building, but it is a long list, and we promised that we would get you in and out in 45 minutes. With that being said, we do want to recognize some particularly special partners whose financial contributions made a significant impact in our ability to keep building this year. So to kick off our development awards, I'm excited to hand it over to our Community Engagement Officer, Caitlin Bathke.
Hi everyone. Just like tonight's virtual Hammy Awards, a number of our events in 2020 went virtual, including our home dedications, the ceremonies where we hand off the keys to our family partners whose homes are finally complete. And the first virtual dedication we hosted in 2020 back in July was at our Build for Unity project, 2 homes on Stoner Drive. Build for Unity is an initiative to bring together folks of all faiths, backgrounds, and beliefs to build Habitat homes side by side as a display of unity in our community. I'd like to take a moment to recognize the very special partners who came together not only to financially provide the sticks and bricks to help make these homes possible, but also sent hundreds and hundreds of volunteers to help build these homes side by side in late 2019 and early 2020 before the COVID closures set in. These homes were made possible not only by our community pulling together, but also by a very special group of people on our Interfaith Committee who helped plan and bring Build for Unity to life. Thank you to all of our partners in this very special project for making the dream of home ownership possible for the Omar and ML Yanenko families.
Home dedications and key handoffs weren't the only thing to go virtual this year. We also took 2 of our signature events, our Women Build and our Gala, virtual. After rallying back together our Women Build committee, we had 4 weeks from conception of taking Women Build virtual to making it happen. And I cannot tell you how incredibly inspired and impressed I was with our Women Build committee and all of our Women Build partners who helped us pull off this Herculean event. Thanks to our Women Build committee and all of our Women Build sponsors and supporters, in 60 minutes we had 55 unique speakers, including the Lieutenant Governor, Congresswoman Matsui, and women from all across the region. We had a hilarious cameo of our pink-clad construction crew, and we had 380 live viewers and 4,000 views within 24 hours. Most importantly though, our virtual Women Build helped us close the last remaining funding gap on a home build project for single mom Anna Belikova and her 2 children. Thank you to everyone involved in helping us pull off this year's virtual Women Build. The next month after Women Build, we took our Gala virtual. Our signature gala is usually 400 people, black tie dress, sitting down for a live auction and dinner. And it usually brings in over $300,000 in critical funding to support our work over the next year. So how did we take our gala and make it virtual? Through incredible volunteers like our gala committee, our production crew, Megan Swan and Mike Droke of Music Causes Movement, or as we like to call them, our Habitat Unicorns, our auctioneer and longtime member of our Habitat family, Freddie Silveria, C-Stand Productions, and all of the sponsors and donors who showed up and helped us net more this year than ever before. What a wild ride 2020 was for events in a new virtual world. We learned a lot, and more than anything, we have just continued to be grateful for the opportunity to bring people together and build forward. Thank you so much to all of you who helped support us in ways big and small. Your overwhelming support truly inspired us and motivated us to keep going. With that, let's jump into the Outstanding Community Partner Awards for Fund Development.
For our first set of development awards, we'd like to recognize our roof raiser partners. These are community partners who in 2020 contributed between $10,000 and $20,000 to home build and home preservation projects. The awardees are Air Warrior Courage Foundation, Cathay Bank, DPR Construction, Franklin Templeton Investments, Interwest Insurance Services, Rainforth Grau Architects, and the United Surgical Partners International. The Air Warrior Courage Foundation is a major supporter of our veteran projects, all the way from our first ever home repair for Vietnam veteran Santiago to last year's very special home repair for World War II veteran Willard Ingram. Cathay Bank, while a newer supporter, has donated in a myriad of ways, from home builds to helping us secure our first ever box truck to support the construction team's inventory needs. Franklin Templeton Investments has been a roof raiser partner for 5 years running, and in a typical year would send hundreds and hundreds of volunteers to support our home build projects. Interwest Insurance Services, our insurance broker, has supported the Gala, Rock the Block, and our veteran repair projects, and in 2020 donated more than $15,000. DPR Construction is a longtime partner whose support over the years has totaled more than $100,000. And in 2020, not only did DPR support a Habitat home build, they also gave Habitat access to a DPR-designed COVID-19 safety app, which is now being used on all of our construction sites, in our restore, and in our offices to ensure HIPAA compliance and the highest standards of COVID-19 safety. Rainforth Grau Architects is a 15-year partner whose support over that time has totaled more than $120,000, and in a typical year would support our construction sites with more than 300 volunteer hours. And finally, another 15-year partner, United Surgical Partners International, has supported Habitat projects in totaling more than $400,000 of support on 18 projects over the years. Their donations, which come in from surgeons all over the region, in 2020 helped fund our COVID-19 resiliency so that we could keep building.
As part of our Roof Raiser Awards, we'd also like to recognize 2 special partners who were major players in helping us take our Women Build and Gala virtual. And that's Wave Broadband and Mighty Media Partners. Wave not only donated $10,000 to financially support Habitat this year for Women Build, Rock the Block, and the Gala, but as a new partner, who'd never participated in any builds before, when we had to tell them that suddenly we couldn't host any builds anymore, their only response was, how can we help? They immediately jumped on our Women Build committee, our Gala committee, and even brought in new partner MMP. MMP, Mighty Media Partners, then jumped right in, rolled up their sleeves, and helped with donated billboards, donated PSAs, setting up radio, television, and print interviews. And because of that, we were able to reach thousands of people in a very short period of time to advertise these critical events that we needed to be successful in order to raise funds to keep building. We estimate the donated in-kind media value to be over $50,000. To both Wave and MMP, I say thank you for sharing your talents, your resources, your connections, and for being a part of our Habitat family.
Up next are our Wall Raiser awardees. These partners contributed $20,000 to $50,000 in 2020 and did so much more than just raise walls. The awardees are Bank of America, the Gary Sinise Foundation, the Osprey Tree Foundation, and Travelers Insurance. In support of our veterans, the Gary Sinise Foundation came on board this year to help us close a funding gap to purchase a new roof as part of our home repair project for 95-year-old World War II veteran Willard Ingram and his 94-year-old wife Juanita. Their support helped us ensure Willard and Juanita can age in their home safely in place, warm and dry with a new roof. Bank of America, whose support has totaled more than $250,000 over the years, has also touched more than a dozen projects. Their $40,000 support in 2020 provided matching funds for our virtual gala and directly went to support our Mandolin Estates project. Travelers Insurance, a longtime partner, has contributed more than $400,000 over the years and whose support in 2020 went directly to our Mandolin Estates project. They also typically support with more than 800 volunteer hours on our job sites and in the Restore. Last but not least, the Osprey Tree Foundation, a new partner who came on board in 2020 as our presenting sponsor for Rock the Block to support the dozens of home repairs that happen in South Oak Park as part of the event, but also answered our call later in the year when our ancient and donated tech started to fail with the onslaught of remote work needs in order to keep our team safe. With all their support, the Osprey Tree Foundation as a new partner donated $50,000 in 2020.
All right, and for our final category for development awards, the Future Framer awardees. These are for partners whose donations in 2020 were between $50,000 and $100,000. Our two honorees in this category are U.S. Bank and the Barbara Jean Hansen Charitable Trust. U.S. Bank has been a partner and supporter of Habitat for over 20 years. In that time, U.S. Bank has contributed over $400,000 and over 20,000 volunteer hours. We want to thank U.S. Bank for the many creative ways that they engaged with us this year when we couldn't have them on the job site as we traditionally do. From courier volunteers for Women Build to doing a birdhouse build and beyond, U.S. Bank, through their support, touched nearly every Habitat project this year. Rock the Block, Women Build, the Gala, matching support for Big Day of Giving, matching support for our holiday campaign, neighborhood revitalization project support, and sponsoring Phase 1 of Mandolin Estates. Thank you to U.S. Bank for your continued and inspiring partnership. And our second and final award is a really touching one, and that's because it's in honor of a planned gift, a legacy gift, which is a gift that someone leaves behind when they leave this world to help make a difference. As Barbara Jean's daughter, Carla, shared with us, her mother was involved in a number of nonprofits, and like so many of us, wanted to leave this world just a little bit better than she found it. When she was still with us, she ensured that when she passed that 11 charities would receive a portion of her trust. Through Barbara Jean's incredibly generous legacy gift, a donation of nearly $100,000 was made to Habitat, which funded an entire home on our Mandolin Estates project. To Barbara Jean's loved ones and her daughter watching, please know that her legacy and generosity will not only continue after her lifetime, but will make a lasting and life-changing impact to the families and the children who will now have a springboard to a better life because of her donation and kindness. To everyone that donated this year, all of our development awardees, and everyone who supported Habitat, on behalf of the Development Department, thank you for partnering with us to help us keep building a stronger community. You have no idea the life-changing impact and the inspiration that you bring to our team and the families that we serve. Thank you.
All right, I'm back, and it's our last stretch of awards. This year, Habitat for Humanity of Greater Sacramento celebrated 35 years of building hope and homes in Sacramento and Yolo County. That's 35 years of changing lives, building equity through home ownership for those who, through systemic racism and lack of opportunity, have often been kept out of equity building opportunities. That's 35 years of providing a springboard to self-reliance and stability, and helping to end generational poverty for families. Tonight, we'd like to honor two volunteers who recently have hit a landmark anniversary of 35 years as Habitat volunteers. Our first milestone 30-year anniversary goes to Jim Campo. co-lead of the Habitat electrical crew. I've asked fellow co-lead of the electrical crew and 30-plus year volunteer Cliff Popejoy to share a few words about Jim's absolute incredible legacy with Habitat.
Hello, everybody. It's my pleasure to help introduce Jim Campo on this occasion of honoring him for his contribution to Habitat. I've known Jim a long time. He was the best man in my wedding. That tells you what I think of Jim. He's got integrity. You can always count on him. When he says it, he'll do it. He's very intelligent, and he's got a wicked good sense of humor. So he's a pleasure to work with. It's been my privilege to work with Jim at Habitat in his various roles for many years. Jim, happy you're part of the Habitat family, and I look forward to many more years of working with you. Take care.
I trust you're all well. My mom and I are doing fine in Folsom. I thank Habitat for this longevity award. I can't actually believe it's been 30 years. Since I was on the staff for 3 years, I'm only counting 27. Volunteering is both fulfilling and fun. It's been an honor to work with you all. Thank you.
Congratulations, Jim, and thank you so much for all of the work that you do to help make the work of Habitat possible. Tonight, we'd also like to recognize another exemplary member of our Habitat family for 30 years of service. That person is Ron Lamb. Ron is a Habitat board member, now serving on his second term. His first term was many decades ago. Ron's genuine authenticity, humility, and passion for helping to change the lives of the families we serve is truly inspirational. Ron has played a huge part in making Habitat what it is today, but perhaps the greatest impact he has made can be seen on the projects that serve the veterans in our community. Ron has had a hand in each and every single one of the veteran projects that we have completed at our affiliate through the various partnerships that he has fostered and cultivated. It is my absolute pleasure to recognize Ron Lamb for his 30 years of helping to build and repair homes, hope, and community.
I am humbled by this recognition from Habitat for Humanity of Greater Sacramento. When I first joined the board some 30 years ago, it was a much smaller operation. My son and I worked on a number of builds. One of the more memorable was installing an aluminum roof made of recycled beer cans. It was incredibly labor intensive, and we only ever did the one. I am blessed to work with the finest staff and board I can imagine. At a board retreat several years ago, the facilitator asked each of us in one word to describe why we were on the board. My word was selfishness. I get far more out of Habitat than I give. Thank you.
Congratulations to you, Jim and Ron. And thank you to everyone watching tonight who's celebrating a milestone, be that 1 year or 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20, 25, 30 years, and beyond at Habitat. You are the reason that we're able to keep building and making a difference. Our next set of awards are Leadership Awards, and they'll be going to 3 different organizations who truly went above and beyond this year. Our first Leadership Award of the night goes out to Wells Fargo. Wells Fargo is a longtime supporter of Habitat who, through donations and Lyft mortgage assistance funding, has contributed over $500,000 and more than 6,000 volunteer hours on Habitat projects over the past decade. When COVID first hit and we had to make some swift decisions, admittedly, it felt very overwhelming and uncertain. But it was only a few days from that initial shelter in place when we were forced to close our restore, resulting in a significant loss of operating funding, when we got a call from Karen Woodruff at Wells Fargo asking, straight out, how can Wells help? Wells Fargo jumped right in immediately with substantial matching funds to help us launch our Home Together campaign, where people from across the community held signs supporting their pledge of support from their homes while sheltering in place to help Habitat get back to building. The campaign raised over $86,000 in critical operating support over the course of just a few short weeks so that we could keep pushing forward. But Wells didn't stop there. They generously gave sponsorship funding mid-year and again at our gala, totaling over $61,000. Accepting the award tonight on behalf of Wells Fargo is Regional Vice President Kevin Berry.
Well, good evening, everybody. This is Kevin Berry at Wells Fargo. We heard the news that Wells Fargo will be recognized again with the Hammy Award, and we are super excited. This is such a great recognition for us, for our team. Our team at Wells Fargo loves working with Habitat for Humanity in Greater Sacramento. The organization does such a wonderful job of making a difference in the lives of families and in our community, and giving hope back to those that really need it, and a little step forward in making a difference in their lives. So Wells Fargo, we're super proud and honored to be recognized again with the Hammy Award. I can't wait to see it. And we love to be able to support the organization, both financially, but also with our people power. Like I mentioned, our employees love to volunteer, to give back, to be a part of the projects and the builds, and it really allows them to stay connected to our community and feel like they're making a difference each and every day. So thank you, Habitat, for your opportunity and your collaboration and partnership with Wells Fargo, for giving us and our employees opportunities to make that difference. I know Karen Woodruff and I just really are inspired by the leadership, the board, all the volunteers that we have here in the Greater Sacramento area that support Habitat. So thank you for the award. We love the Hammy Award, and I hope everyone makes 2021 a much better year than 2020, and we look forward to making a difference again in 2021 with Habitat. Thank you guys very much for the recognition. We are very honored. Thank you.
Congratulations, Wells Fargo. I look forward to doing more great work with you this year and for many years to come. For our next Leadership Award, I'm proud to present LPAS Architecture and Design with the Leadership Award, not only for their financial contributions in 2020 towards the Gala and Women Build, but also for their extremely substantial in-kind support for the architectural design of all of the floor plans on our Mandel Estates projects, which equates to more than $55,000. LPAS has been supporting Habitat for decades. They first became involved through Teresa Page, president of LPAS, who has now since retired. She served on the Habitat board for many years as an incredible champion within LPAS, and I have to say, when it comes to our gala, the LPAS tables not only provide generous support during the event, but I can say without a doubt they seem to be having the absolute most fun. Accepting the award on behalf of LPAS Architecture and Design and carrying on Teresa's legacy as a Habitat board member is Principal, Senior Project Manager, and Architect at LPAS, Phil Titus.
Good evening. On behalf of LPAS, I just want to say thank you to Habitat for Humanity for this award of leadership. We are really excited working with Habitat this last year, and we're looking forward to 2021 even having a better year yet. Thank you.
Thank you, Phil, for being with us tonight and for all that LPAS does to make the work of Habitat possible. Now, for our final Leadership Award, I'd like to invite our Controller, Farrah Shields, to come and present the award.
This year, not only did River City Bank help support Habitat with donations and a variety of third-party mortgage partnerships, providing hundreds of thousands of dollars in revenue to Habitat this year through helping us underwrite several zero-interest equivalent mortgages to select qualified Habitat homeowners, enabling Habitat to further stretch our donor dollars and build more homes. But River City Bank worked tirelessly to ensure that Habitat received the first round of PPP funds and could bring our staff back to get to building again. We've always known River City Bank was a partner on our side, but when we got a call from our banking partner at 10 p.m. at night, alerting us their efforts to help secure PPP funding for Habitat were successful, all of us on the receiving end of that call were in tears. It was obvious that this was a banking relationship that went above and beyond. Thank you, River City Bank, for the many ways you helped us keep building this year. Accepting the award on behalf of River City Bank is River City Bank VP Premium Relationship Manager, Donna Sutherland.
Hi, I'm Donna Sutherland with River City Bank. We are excited to be one of this year's Hammy Award recipients. Last year, River City was committed to helping further Habitat in their mission to provide safe, affordable homes for families in need. We look forward to continuing that partnership in 2021 and beyond. Thank you, and keep up the great work.
Our final award of the evening is the Cornerstone Award. This award is given to an individual or organization every year who has not only made a tremendous impact in the past year, but whose partnership has made an impact that will be felt for years to come. This year's Cornerstone Award goes to SMUD, who's not only our longest running partner in our 35-year history, but a partner who this year made an incredible and historic contribution of $1.1 million. That's our largest ever corporate sponsorship in our 35-year history, which provided solar installation, energy efficiency, EV readiness, and weatherization for more than 50 home builds and preservation projects in 2020. Their partnership is highlighted in this video, which I'd like to share with you.
To have some company to help in the people we can afford to do something, that's a blessing.
At Habitat for Humanity, our program is a hand up, not a handout, and provides an opportunity for families in our community in dire need of affordable housing to have a safe, decent, and affordable place to call home.
I applied 2012 and 2014, and this is the blessing one I got is 2018. I say, this phone is for sure. I'm reading my emails 3-4 times.
It's not every day that you can get up and go to work and have an opportunity to meet someone like Annalyn, who is humble, who is excited, who is passionate about her family.
That's my dream, to have a house, and my kids, they have their own room to read. I never stay home my day off. I'm here with them to do voluntary because some people is helping me how I'm gonna stay home.
Through the partnership with Habitat for Humanity, we're helping customers like Annalyn and her family have access to solar and energy efficiency upgrades in their homes. We're providing funds for each project to include a mix of solar installations, EV charging capability, all electric and energy efficient upgrades to customers in underserved communities.
The house that they're being able to purchase through Habitat for Humanity and their partnership with SMUD allows them to be able to have a mortgage that's affordable and a utility bill that's also affordable for the long haul. And the features within are going to help make sure that the home's sustainable.
By making solar more accessible to customers like Annalyn, it allows them to save on their energy costs and focus on bigger priorities in life.
To get a house, to live in 800 square feet, 2-bedroom, to move in the house, that's a big dream. I'm gonna say thank you to SMUD, all the people they do voluntary for me.
And we're not just turning the lights on. It's about ensuring that all of our communities have access to everything that they need to ensure that they're living the life that they know that they can. You can learn more about the work we're doing to strengthen neighborhoods at smud.org/sustainablecommunities.
I cannot begin to express our deep gratitude or the significant impact this contribution has catalyzed for so many families, seniors, veterans, and children this past year. And I also can't begin to say what an absolute joy and honor it has been working alongside the inspiring team at SMUD through this partnership. Thank you each for truly working hand in hand with us to change lives through safe, decent, affordable, and sustainable housing. Accepting the Cornerstone Award tonight on behalf of SMUD is SMUD Board Director, Nancy Bowie-Thompson.
Thank you, Leah, and the great team at Habitat for presenting SMUD with the Cornerstone Award. Our Sustainable Communities program partnered with Habitat to provide $1 million in funding for 50 homes. Many of these homes will be all electric with solar panels and have EV charging, electric appliances, and weatherization to keep the bills low. Our partnership aids our underserved communities, will create a healthy living environment, improve our air quality, and reduce carbon emissions. This ensures that historically underserved communities aren't left behind in SMUD's effort to reaching our zero carbon goal by 2030. Along with our $1 million partnership, our SMUD employees will continue to volunteer their time and own personal contributions to build homes. Since 1995, our SMUD's Habitat Club has built 10 homes, providing over 5,000 hours of volunteer work. Partnering with Habitat and other like-minded organizations is essential for environmental equity in the Sacramento region. Happy New Year. Here's to many more years of successful partnership between Habitat and SMUD. Have a great evening.
Thank you so much, Nancy, for being with us tonight. And thank you to you and the entire team at SMUD for all of the incredible work that you do in our community. Well, here we are, folks, the close of the night. I want to thank everyone for joining us here tonight so that we could say thank you. You know, 2020 may not be the year that we'll always want to remember, but It's a year that we'll never forget, right? The past year presented many, many challenges. Yet out of challenges come opportunities. Opportunities to innovate, evolve, and become stronger. And I truly believe that we're stronger as an organization now because of the challenges that we overcame in 2020. Thank you to each of you for the many ways that you made 2020 successful. We have big plans and big projects coming in 2021. And I look forward to opening up our job sites when it's safe to do so. And I look forward to when we can all gather again at events like home dedications, our gala, Women Build, and of course, the Hammies. Because I know you all really miss the spaghetti. Don't worry, we'll get it next year, right? Thank you for all of the many ways that you helped Habitat keep building in 2020. On behalf of all of us, our Habitat staff, our board, and especially our Habitat partner families, thank you for being with us tonight. I look forward to building bigger with each of you in 2021 and beyond. Have a great night.
When I think of home, I think of a place of love overflowing. When I think of home, I think of a place where there's love overflowing. I wish I was home, I wish I was back there with the things I've been knowing. When that makes the tall trees bend into leaning, suddenly snowflakes that fall have a meaning. Sprinkling the seed makes it all clean. Maybe there's a chance for me to go back now that I have some direction. It would sure be nice to be back home where there's love and affection. And just maybe I can convince time to slow, giving me enough time in my life to grow. Time, be my friend, let me start again. Suddenly my world's gone and changed its face, but I still know where I'm going. I have had my mind spun around in space, and yet I watched it growing. Oh, if you're listening, God, please don't make it hard to know if we should believe in the things that we see. Tell us, should we run away? Should we try and stay? Or would it be better just to let things be? Living here in this brand new world might be a fantasy, but it's taught me to love. So it's real to me. And I've learned that we must look inside our hearts to find a world of love like yours, like mine, like
All right, folks, that's a wrap. I'm looking forward to building with you in 2021.